So yeah, I'm used to TikTok where the orientation is different, and YouTube is the opposite. So if you'll please allow me some grace in the first few videos that I post and the one you're about to watch, and hopefully from this point forward I'll remember to turn the camera, anyway. As you can see, we're still building. Don't look at that spot. Look over here at my iced tea. And I want to redo some things in my kitchen because it's going to be more visible. It's more of an open floor plan type of thing. And my hot pads, holy moly, it looks like they've been through the war. They're stained, they're burned up, you name it. They're basically not even good enough to get anything hot out of the oven. They're so bad. Anyway, I don't want to go to the store and buy any. They're too expensive, and I don't want to go to the store to buy the Insulbright, which is what I guess most people are using now for the interior of the hot pad. Instead, I'm going to go off my gut and do something differently. I'm going to use some old fabric I had left over from my apron, some old batting from other projects, old stained up tea towels for the back of the hot pad, and the bits and bobs of denim that is stained up that I can't use in other projects. And I think that combination will be a superb replacement for the Insulbright that I don't want to go buy at the store. And with that being said, I will just explain my notion of the denim. Years ago, I made myself a ironing board. I used Luan and some batting and some denim fabric from the clearance section at Hobby Lobby, and it's stained up. And it works fabulous. Like, it really takes on the heat from my iron. So I'm thinking that the denim, the cotton batting, the cotton terrycloth, and the cotton topper for the decorative part together in a quilt sandwich will be pretty good. Let's get to work. Since I was using leftover batting, I didn't have two pieces that were big enough, so I ended up just cutting the second one out of two smaller pieces, making up the size, which, once it's inside that quilt sandwich, it's not going to matter. As I stated before, I like to recycle my husband's old denim jeans, and as you can see, some of them I've gotten a good bit from. So, my little sandwich, the terry cloth, and then I did denim, and then I did the batting, and then what we'll see laying around the kitchen. Now, it just needs some binding, but let me explain what I did. I sandwiched it all together. I gave myself about a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and then come back and cut it down to a 1/4 inch seam allowance to make sure I had enough room to make sure all that sandwich got into that seam, because I can't stand to come back and realize that I missed a layer. So anyway, I did a 1/2 inch seam, came back and cut it down to a 1/4 inch seam, and now I'm going to bind it off. And let me just say, I have quilted for many years, and I've always sucked at binding, if I'm being quite honest. And I've always went around the whole mitered corner thing, and anyway, I got by, whatever. But on TikTok today, and if you're seeing this video on TikTok, I'm going to try to tag her in this. I saw her video of her binding a pot holder, ironically enough, when I had planned to make them anyway. I saw her binding a pot holder, and it like blew my mind. And maybe it's not her technique, maybe, I don't know, but the way she taught it and the way she showed it just blew my mind, and it opened up that door. And yeah, so I'm going to cut out my binding. I'm going to go back to her video and watch it and do it along with, so I can't record me doing it. And then I'm going to come back and show you the end product, or the finished product. You know what I mean. I forgot one key part, and I remembered it while I was cutting the binding. I need to quilt it, like, you know, put something in and not just the edge. Sheesh. I'm just going to eyeball the lines. It's just a pot holder for me. Happens with this machine. I love this machine. It's my favorite machine. And I'm so spoiled by the thread cutter. And I get so quick into cutting the thread that I don't give it time to rest the needle, and then I cut the thread about the same time it's trying to rest the needle, and then it pulls my thread out. So you would think by now I would have learned that. See, almost did it again. Really. I mean, you have to laugh at yourself. Wait. I think I'm getting closer with my lines. Not too shabby. Carry on. I thought about one more thing. I like my pot holders to have the little hangy thing, you know, so I'm thinking I'm gonna, like, you know, take some like fabric and make a little loopy thing and Then I'm going to sew it to the front side of this, and then when I put my binding on, it should, I think. We're going to see. So for the loopy thing, I'm just going to cut myself a 3-inch piece of fabric. I'm going to iron it in half. And it already sort of has a finished edge on it. Not that it really matters. I guess that doesn't matter, does it? No, it doesn't. Anyway, I'm going to fold it in half. Give it a nice good iron. Yes, it's iron. I'm from Appalachia. Anyway, so now that I have a nice marker of an iron point of the middle, I'm going to then open it back up and take that fold it in towards that seam that I just created, and then iron it along the way. And then the same goes for the other side. And I'm not taking it right to the line, it's just like a thread or so right underneath the line that I created down the middle. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm going to fold it on itself. Give it another ironing. Now, if you wanted to use this for what I typically do for like purse straps or whatever, you would add interfacing, but considering this is just going to be a hanging loop for my pot holder, I'm not really bothered. So now that I have this and all the raw edges, I'm just going to seam down here, and I'm probably going to go ahead and seam down here, and then I can make myself a couple loops to use for my pot holder. Well, what do you think? I think it turned out pretty good. The binding technique was definitely a game changer for me. It's definitely something I'll have to continue to practice, obviously, with any skill. I'm in love. How cute are these? If I was going to do it over again, I would probably put the hanger in the middle and the top, just because it was just so much to get through here with the bulk of the extra layer of stuff. But my machine's pretty tough, so it got through it okay. But just to not be a PIA for the next one, I wouldn't do that again. But super cute. Leftover stuff. And maybe I shouldn't have chose a white background fabric, because it won't be white for long.